Hey guys, my name is Tal and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a video. It's slightly different than the videos that I typically do, but it all ties in. And a part of what I'm going to do today, because I realized that I never formally introduced myself to you guys. So a few weeks ago, I was thinking about that, and I'm saying to myself, I'm gonna do a video giving you guys more insight on my background and what led me here. So my topic today ties into that. It's like it completely ties into that. So I'm gonna tell you guys about how I got into this affordable housing industry. But first, I want to talk about what's going on right now. As we know, the world focus right now is on this coronavirus. And I know, unfortunately, a lot of lives are being lost. And, my condolences to those families. And I know it's critical times right now. People are losing their jobs, or people hours are reduced, or various different situations. Businesses are affected. So there's a lot of things going on. But can I just encourage you today to be hopeful? I just want to encourage you guys to not see this time as do not pretty much bring more depression on yourself as a result of this whole pandemic. This is out of our control, and that's a part of life. Things are going to happen that's out of our control. But what I want to do today, I want to encourage you to get creative. Get creative. Right now is not the time to feel defeated and lay in your bed and feel like you may never want to go outside. And I want to be sensitive about that, because a lot of people may say, well, you're not going through what I'm going through, so it's easy for you to say. Trust me, we are all affected one way or another. So while our experiences may be different, we're all affected, or someone we know is affected by that. And I'm very conscious of that. So I don't want anyone to take this video in a negative light, because by no means that's my intention. But what I want to do is to encourage you guys to use this opportunity as a time to uplift yourself. Use this as a time to get creative. Right now, I know a lot of jobs are laying employees off, or they're reducing their hours, as I mentioned before. So right now, we are not in the time where our mentality should be, well, that's not a part of my job description, or well, that's not what I signed up to do. Right now, we should be going above and beyond. We should always go above and beyond, but now more than ever, this is your opportunity to step up. This is your opportunity to shine. So if your employer asks you to do something out of your typical job description, do it. Even if you're not getting additional pay, do it. Do it. Step up. Employers remember employees that shines in critical time. Employers remember employees that go the extra mile when the needs are the greatest for them. So now is your opportunity to go that extra mile, whatever that extra mile may be. Don't have that's not what I signed up for. I mean, I will hope that no one is asking you to do anything that will endanger the welfare of your life. Obviously, you use your best judgment. But if you're, for example, if you were working in the back of the house, right, and they need someone to cover the reception area, you're not going to say, well, that's not my job description. I only work back here. No, you go up front, and guess what? By you going up front and fulfilling those reception duties, you're learning a skill. You're learning a skill, and guess what? You have more experiences to share when in the future you go on a job interview and they ask you, well, tell me about a time that you really had to step up to the plate. You know what you're gonna say on your job interview? You're gonna talk about the time when we were experiencing this whole pandemic, and you, who was typically, for example, a dishwasher, had to go cover the front of the house, and you had to, in 2 hours, learn to operate the switchboard, or you had to, respond to a large volume of clients or something. Tell that is a building block. Those are stepping stones for you, and you're gaining more experience. So don't worry about, well, the receptionist normally get $20 and I only get 15, so I'm not gonna do that. Now is not the time for that mentality. Now is the time to shine. Go the extra mile. Ask your employer, is there anything that I could help with? Your hours are reduced in your department. Send your employer an email. Hi, so and so. I understand that the legal department hours were reduced, but does the leasing department have any available hours? I have experience doing this. I just want you to know that I'm available to assist that department if need be. That is the type of mentality we should have right now. What else can I do? If your aspiration was for a position that you're not currently in right now, or you're a long way from getting to that level, now is the time to ask your manager if your department hours are reduced, or if you know that your department is fully staffed, but that other department that you aspire to work in one day is short staffed. Now is your opportunity to ask your manager, hi, so and so, I noticed that this department is short staffed. As you know, I have a few experience working in that department, and that's also, a department that I aspire to work in. Is there anything that I can do? I'm a fast learner. Can I sit with so and so for an hour? Maybe I could learn some of the skill sets so I could help them. That is the mentality that you should have right now, because we're not just gonna sit back and feel defeated. Right now, I know it's an unfortunate thing that a lot of people are getting laid off. I know a lot of the employers feel terrible about that, but in reality, some just may very well not have a choice. I saw a post on social media the other day, and it was like a wow moment for me, because it pretty much said, a lot of this whole pandemic shows that a lot of companies are also working paycheck to paycheck, meaning that if business is not in operation for a full week, they may not even be able to have the finances to open the following week. So it's not just us as employees that are living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes these companies are also living paycheck to paycheck. But if you don't think about it like that, to you, you're just looking at them as they're the worst person. I'm shocked at some of these large companies who I think was doing extremely well. Like, I'm taken back, like, wow, this is like a high-end restaurant. They're charging $300 a meal. How could it be that they're not able to pay their employees for another week? But again, it goes back to say a lot of those companies are also living paycheck to paycheck, because you could earn a lot of money, but what you have to think about is your what you're earning versus the expenses. So a lot of companies may be earning money, but what's their expense? What's their debt to income ratio? So that's what we got to look at. So I want to, tell you guys, take this opportunity to step up. If you were unfortunately laid off, that doesn't mean that you should shut out. Follow up with your employer. Say, hey, so-and-so, just checking in on you and your family. I hope all is well. If there's anything that I can do while we await a date to reopen, please let me know. Make yourself memorable. Like, you don't want to be completely gone from their mind. Let them know that you are thinking about the company. You're thinking about the business. If it's a company where, you have an idea, reach out. Even though you're laid off, that doesn't mean you still can't, come up with ideas for them. After all, this is a place where you were employed, right? So let them know they're still in your thoughts as well. Say, hey, so and so, I know we're not able to open right now, but I was thinking we could do some email marketing to our customers, our clients. In the meanwhile, here are some ideas of emails we could send them to keep in touch. These are just examples. Obviously, it's based on the industry that you're in, but I'm saying all of this to say, get creative. Don't disappear because you're laid off, because guess what? You see that person that is keeping in touch with the company, when they are ready to reopen, you're going to be the first person that they reach out to. So whether or not you may have a return to work date, it doesn't matter. You want to keep in their mind. So keep checking in. Throw ideas at them. If you learn any information that may benefit them, let them know. So that's a mindset I want you guys to have right now. And earlier I said this tied into my story because, a few years ago, the company, I've always been a person to go above and beyond. So whatever I do, I'm putting my all and more. So a few years ago, the company that I worked for closed, and I was there for a very long time. And so I was like, all right, this is my opportunity. I'm like, you know what? I've been working very hard. Like, I've always been a full-time student, a full-time employee, doing an internship all at once. So I was that person to juggle a lot. Don't ask me how I did it, but I did it. So this is my opportunity to say, all right, I'm going to relax a month or two. I've been working since I was 15 years old. So I'm just going to take it easy for a little while. And about 3 weeks in, I received a call from a temp agency who used to send temps to the company that I worked for. And I was like, I've never worked for a temp agency and I don't really want to work for a temp agency. But I'm like, what can I lose? I'm home. I wasn't doing anything but relaxing, which was well deserved. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me see what's going on with this. And I started, and it was a lottery leasing office. So my first position in this affordable housing industry was a receptionist. And I was like, okay, I'm there a couple months. I'm like, all right. So me not wanting to go ended up being a long-term assignment. And a few months in, I think it was about 6 months in, I remember one day the project manager at the time, so I was a receptionist, the project manager at the time, she sent me firstly, let me say this, I've always been an organized person. I'm a system person, so I'm creating my system. I like to track information. That's me. I like data analysis. That's me. So I always created my little system, even though receptionist, phone, this minimal, but I always do extra stuff. That's just me. I like to have systems in place. So one day the project manager, our offices were in apartment buildings at that time. So the project manager, she emailed me. She was in the office. She was in the apartment next to where I was. And she emailed me and she said, hey, by any chance, do you know which leasing agent have which files? And immediately I sent her attachment, an Excel sheet breaking down who had what, when it was submitted to them. And she walked over to come in the apartment I was in. I was the only person in that apartment because it was set up like an office. And she was just wowed. She was wowed because it was never required. It was never asked of me to have this. It wasn't required. She just happened to ask me if I by any chance know. And she was so taken back for the fact that I had this information readily available without her even asking me to do something like that. So now more than ever, I'm on her radar to a next level. Because now you see that, one, I'm not only thinking ahead, but I actually care about having a system in place. So not long after that, I remember I was fasting for 3 days, and the first day, they came to me and said, oh, they want to promote me to be a leasing agent. And I was like, okay, wow. And the second day, they were like, I'm going to give you a raise, which was like significant, can't even say the word, significantly more than what I was making. And I was like, oh, okay, wow. At that point, I never really like dived in to an actual file. I never thought, like, I was never a numbers person. I'm like, oh, calculating income and all of that. I got a 96 on the maths regions, but maths is not my thing or whatever. But anyhow, so I was given the opportunity to be a leasing agent, and that all stemmed from me going above and beyond and doing more than what I was told to do. So had I not have that mentality, I wouldn't be here today to tell you guys about affordable housing. I wouldn't know the process inside out. And that led to way more opportunities for me, because not only did I, start being a leasing agent immediately, I even surprised myself as to how quickly I got the whole concept. And 3 months in, or probably less than that, and this is not to like pontificate on my accomplishments or anything, but a couple months in, I was the best performing agent. Like, I started closing out freelance files. I started closing out the files quickly, like record breaking time frame. And that just led to more opportunities for me. I was doing more. I was showing up there early. I was leaving there late. I was going above and beyond because, again, my background is social work. So housing is important to me. So it wasn't just me showing up to work, getting a paycheck. Like, I actually care about people getting an affordable housing. So that even made me, go harder, because I actually cared about what I do. But that, again, all stemmed from me making that extra step, and the rest was history. And I know a lot of you guys may say, well, I'm here telling you about affordable housing, but do I live in an affordable housing? So the truth is this: I told you guys I think this was in 2012, Hurricane Sandy happened, and the apartment that I was living in, I lost everything. My whole apartment was flooded, and I applied for the lottery. And in previous videos, I told you guys I had a preference. So the preference that I had was a Sandy preference. And unfortunately, I got rejected because I was a full-time student. And even though I was graduating in like 3 months, I was deemed ineligible for being a full-time student. But God had greater plans for me, because I think that was 2012 or 2013 that happened. But guess what? Fast forward a couple months later, I was working in the industry, right? And from working in the industry and pulling these record numbers, it afforded me the opportunity to purchase my own home. So a few years ago, I was able to purchase my own home as a result of me going above and beyond. Because with these projects, developers want these projects to close out. So they will pay you when they see that you're performing, going above and beyond. They will pay you. So I made myself profitable. So even though I was paid a regular salary, I was being paid more. I was pretty much incentivized to close out more. Okay, you love what I'm doing. You love how I'm closing these apartments out. So guess what? Now they throwing money at you. Say, hey, I'll give you this amount if you close 30 apartments out in the next month. I'll give you this. So it was just incentives after incentives. And listen, I'm from the Caribbean. You never have to incentivize me for me to go hard, but I already go hard naturally. So when you're incentivizing me, so I'm like on a next level. Because to me, I'm getting this money. I want to get my own house. I was that person like most of you that was paying, before I bought my house, I was paying $1,000 for rent. If I had an affordable housing apartment, a low income apartment, I wouldn't be paying $1,000. But again, I missed out on the opportunity. Then after that, I pretty much wouldn't qualify for low income housing. But if I had qualified for that low income housing apartment, I would have saved way more money and possibly got my house sooner, because I would be paying way less for rent, right? So just going back to how going above and beyond will help you, that's how it helped me. So now I was in demand. Now developers, even when I transitioned from the leasing, closed out the project, finished the project, bought my house off that money, because I bought my house off that money. All those incentives that I was getting. And I'm not saying this is not to boast or anything along that line. This is to tell you, I always tell my friends, make yourself profitable. When I'm working for the leasing department, you need someone in the management office this Saturday? Okay, I'll be there. You need someone for the market rate leasing office? Okay, I'll be there. So that is me. Whatever you need, I'm stepping up. So I always step up in time of crisis. So when an additional project opportunity come along, you know who they're calling on? Me first, to give me the say, hey, do you want this assignment? So they're giving that person who's always showing up for them the first dibs at it. And that's the whole concept when you make yourself available, when you show them that you care about the best interests of the company. So those were the opportunities that were given to me. So even when I transitioned, I finished the project, we did great, record numbers, then I transitioned into management. So while in management, completely different from leasing. But I was still the go-to person for that. So when other projects came along and the developer, that leasing team was struggling, you know who they're calling? Me. They're calling me, but guess what they're also doing? They're incentivizing me. Because now you're asking me, I'm still doing my workload, plus you asking me to do more. So you know what? They're incentivizing me to do this project as well. So you have to make yourself profitable. Sure, you want this project done? Step in, go in, you get the project done. Now you're looking at additional income, and it may be the same, it may be different for you. It may not be the real estate industry for you, and it doesn't have to be. My point is that just make yourself profitable so that you could work in any department. Learn other things that, like, I always say I will never suffer because of lack of knowledge, because I love to read and I love to educate myself. So learn other departments, learn other areas of the company, research stuff on your own time. Everything doesn't have to be on the company's time. Research stuff on your own time. See what courses you could take, and you may be able to even pitch it to your employer so they could pay for it. Or sometimes you just have to pay for your own courses. And these are all live tools for what's going on today. Because when you're profitable, you could have other opportunities waiting for you. So going back to my experience, even when I transitioned to management, they reached out to me for other properties when they were doing the lease up for those. And I had to step in to help the team. And I love doing that because this is what I do. So I'm passionate about this. This is my livelihood. So, and I'm getting more money on top of it. You can't lose with that. And it's just something that you have to get in that mindset. So put yourself in that mindset to not just know your job description. Even if like this is your career and your focus is one thing, that doesn't mean you can't learn something else. You know, your focus or your specialization could be one thing, but it's not going to hurt you to know something else. So in a time like this, guys, do more. Just don't shut down. I want you guys to press along, because I'm telling you guys that this is what I've been doing all my life, and I've seen the fruits of my labor, thankfully. And just to show you how intentional God is, because as I thought about doing this video earlier, something again happened to me today, because I have my own company. And today one of my clients out of nowhere said to me, you know, I feel like you go above and beyond and you do way more than your job description, and I want to pay you more. And I was just like, I was looking at my phone, like I was so blown away, because one, in a time like this, for a business owner to be thinking about giving out more money, that's admirable to me. And I'm so grateful that at a time like this, they would recognize that. I mean, this client always recognizes stuff like that, but I'm just saying, even more so, where their business may not even be performing at its peak right now, but yet they're thinking to bless me. And that's all, again, as a result of the fruits of my labor. And I'm obviously so grateful for that. And I said to the client, I'm like, wow, thank you so much. Like, you know, all circumstances considered, and yet you're thinking about that to bless me. Like, I'm truly so grateful for that. And I said to myself, wow, you know, I really need to do this video. I really need to do this video, because money is out there. Good people are still out there. Giving people are still out there. Even though times may be tough, not everyone is holding on to their blessings. There's still people out there that's sharing their blessings. So don't feel like a blessing may not come for you at this time, because this was a major blessing for me. Like, I was just like, wow, God, you're so intentional. This is a major blessing for me. You know what I mean? So I'm so grateful. But who would have thought? This was the furthest thing from my mind. This client payment is not even due until next week. So the fact that they're even thinking about this today is just like, wow. You know, that's why I want to share this information with you guys. But that's what led me here. My motivation, my mindset to do more. So I want to encourage you guys, please you don't have to do exactly what I do, but whatever industry you're in, just learn more. Don't give up. Don't feel like you're limited. Just expand your skill set. Do more, and the blessings will come. It definitely will come. There's no doubt in my mind that it will happen. It happened for me. And my blessing may not have been to land a low-income affordable housing apartment, but my blessings, now I could see that, you know, my blessing is to share the information about affordable housing. But God blessed me in another way where I could have my own home. And that's what I want you guys to get to, because once you get in these low-income apartments, you could save up that money. So 2-3 years, or maybe it'll be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 for someone else, but that time you'll be able to save up money, because over the years your income will hopefully increase and increase. And if you're in a rent stabilized affordable housing program, your rent is not determined based off your income. It's a rent stabilized building, so the rent increase based off the rent guideline board. So you making more will not create a rent burden, but it will give you the opportunity to save more, so you could buy your own home or buy your own condo. That is the goal, but you have to set yourself up for that. You have to align yourself. So I probably said more than I needed to, but I'm passionate about this. Like this, I love this. I'm a social worker at heart. Right now, I'm a real estate compliance manager, you know, and I have my own company, but my heart, my education background is social work. I have a master's in social work. And I've been a part of a lot of great organizations that I truly believe in their mission. And any little that I can do in this time, I am doing it. So this video may not be for everyone, or you may not be able to relate to what I'm saying right now, but I promise you, at some point in your life, you will be able to relate to what I'm saying. All I'm saying is just play this video again. Listen to what I'm saying carefully, and everything may not be for you, but something in this video will be for you. Just pick from it, see what will work for you, and I promise you, if you apply these steps to your life, you will see the fruits of your labor. Because all these years I've really sown so much, and now I'm able to reap. Now I have people that speak so highly of me, not because they see how passionate I am about what I do. There's people that if someone was to call them right now, say, hey, I need a leasing manager, or I need a leasing person, I'll be their top choice, because guess what? I broke records for them. One of the vice presidents that I work for, a few years ago, I will never forget, because I actually have this email saved, because it was just so touching to me. And I don't know about you, but certain emails, like, I save them because you need to reflect on certain things. Sometimes you need a little booster, and I reflect on things like these. And I will never forget one of the commission, when they first, well, not when they first, the last time they incentivized me to complete a project for them. And what the employer said to me later was, I actually was setting you up, because I thought this was impossible to do. So I'm like, really? But obviously they told me that after. But they incentivized me. They challenged me. They really challenged me to close out 30 units in 30 days. And this is the email that he sent to HR. It says, please include attached commission payment for TAL to be paid the check dated X date. We challenge her and incentivize her to resolve our middle income vacancy issues at X property. As per the attached, she knocked it out the park. Best money we spent all year. This was an email sent in October from the vice president. I'm sorry, not October, in November. So, best money spent all year. Do you know what that email did for my confidence level? I was just like, wow. And that just encouraged me to do more. And we may not always get that email, because I didn't always get that email. Sometimes I heard about the great things I've done later on, because it's not always going to be a pat on the shoulder. But what I've learned is to not wait for that pat on the shoulder. Just know that you are doing amazing, and just keep doing what you're doing, and you will reap what you have sown. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that during this pandemic you are able to tap into your creativity. I hope that you're able to market yourself. I hope that you're able to make yourself profitable in whichever way that you can. As always, guys, keep it positive, be hopeful. Great things are in store for you, and I look forward to getting back to our routine about affordable housing. But this video was needed. It's been on my heart, and I just had to deliver it. So I hope that this was helpful to someone. If this helped one or two people, I'll be grateful. And I don't want anyone to take offense to this video. If it wasn't for you, that's okay. That's okay. But it may be for someone out there. Someone out there may need to hear this. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. I will continue to post more videos about affordable housing and great resources that can help you. Everyone, please stay safe. And I'm praying for you and your family. And I trust that you will not be impacted significantly by this whole pandemic. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great one.